morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are, and welcome back to the channel. Now, apologies for not posting for the last few days because, well, a few things did come up, and I wanted to come back with this particular video about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Now, this has been a very interesting. This has been a very interesting realization that indeed, these ideologies we keep talking about on the internet that have affected every facet of people's lives, these ideologies, to be honest with you, they're not willing to discuss something or just agree to disagree kind of situation, because we don't even agree with ourselves, a lot of the things that we think sometimes or do. So how is it that so many of these people who are totally on the what people call the left wing side of politics and social? We have talked about the feminism, we've talked about all this identitarian stuff, which has really given birth to this. Now, this gentleman here is that you see on your screen is the person that's responsible for that assassination. What has happened since is that we have seen so many people, and especially women. It's actually quite disturbing. Thousands of people have done videos about this. I'll link down a number of these videos, um, so that you might see for yourself. A lot of people, Chisha Z, Poor Man's Podcast, Anton Daniels, so many of these people have done great videos exposing what people really think about not just you, because a lot of us who espouse this kind of ideologies, we are not leftists. Most of us are either in the middle, have a lot going on either side, and some are more conservative. Let's just be real about it. So, what has happened is that so many of these leftists, specifically women, have been celebrating this man's assassination. The glee is actually disturbing. And you see, what has happened is that a lot of these people, first of all, they come with the notion of poisoning the well. This concept is that they will accuse you of these crimes, crimes such as misogyny, white supremacy, uh, I don't know, many of these kind of, leftist leaning kind of buzzwords. So once they've called you of this name, or accused you of this, or you hate women, you're a racist, you're this and that, you're a white supremacist, then they feel justified that you should be taken out. And that's what's going on here. All of them are some of the most vile people that I've ever met. And I have to be quite specific because I don't know if some of you here are also celebrating this incident. But if you are, just know that you're a degenerate. There's absolutely no reason to perjure myself, to perjure the principles and morals that we follow so that I can have a subscriber. A subscriber who would be so brainwashed, or at least so vile and backward, to think that if somebody says things you don't like, then you feel justified to take them out. If you're one of them here, you can stay if you want, but just understand, I am saying that you're a degenerate, you're a bottom feeder. Now, one of the things that has the consequence of a lot of this happening right now, this is an account or libs of TikTok on X that does aggregate a lot of what these leftists do. And, a lot of these people have really awakened people to what they wish for them. Somebody like Elon, this person you're seeing before you, Matt Walsh, they have also been threatened now. They're being told, you're next. And all this is not because somebody did something that, because as far as I am concerned, if maybe you take someone's life, I believe yours should be taken too. That's the level that I am. But we cannot put such a burden on Charlie Kirk because he's somebody who actually just went out there and was having all these discussions. He's a conservative, he's religious. Personally, I am not so much into that, but it makes a very many good arguments when it comes to the social interactions and politics. We had also this little person you're seeing down here. This is called Destiny, the one that I am pointing at. And the way that you're trying to justify this is actually quite amazing to listen. And it's actually crystallizes what all these people are doing. So I'm going to play this for you to listen. And then, because this really, those kinds of videos, it's not really uh, anything in particular. I just wanted to talk about these incidents after all these days, and I've seen what has happened and the ideology that we are trying to fight, and also what we are trying to do as men is to try to build things. But if all these ideologies have come and they've poisoned primarily our women, and also you find the men that are celebrating it are also effeminate men like this guy you're about to listen to, you should understand that we have a problem, and it's incumbent upon us actually to be aware, because all these things are interlinked. The politics is downstream from culture. What we do culturally is what is executed upon in politics. So this is just to give you how do I say, a screenshot of what these people actually think.
I mean, Piers, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, this type of ideology where you've got someone who's willing to mock Erica, who's been standing strong for her family, for her children, who's just, she will never be able to grow old with Charlie. She will never be able to be with them again, have more children, to have grandchildren, to have those memories, to raise them. It's all gone. Every single moment of that future that they had was gone because someone fired a bullet at Charlie Kirk that said, "Hey, fascist, catch." And now you have people celebrating it. And when you ask people
That's
about
not even
it,
the
they
bullet
say,
that was fired.
"Oh,
How are you lying about this?
Shut
even?
up, Destiny.
Holy
Shut
shit.
up.
You're so
Shut
shameless,
up.
dude. Oh my god. You're not even inside the right bullet. You're such a disgusting
Piers.
piece of shit. Holy fuck.
What a pedantic.
Why is he acting like this? First of all, I need to understand who this fellow is. He's a left-wing nut who, by the way, his wife was being railed by other men, and you would write, he was posting, saying, "Oh, I would like to eat the cub of Hapunani, the cub of the other man." This is the type of person. You need to search on him and find out. He is a bottom feeder in the very description of the word. But you see how he's reacted. You see, this is what I'm trying to show you. What they're trying to use as justification, anything other than face the fact that their side took out a guy because they could beat him in arguments. The bottom line, that is it. So they try to say, "Oh, he's spreading hateful rhetoric." Who said anything is hateful? Everything they don't believe in or they don't agree with is hateful as far as them. We know that.
What a pedantic
Are we-
point. What a
are we
It's not
even gonna
pedantic.
do
These
this?
guys are fucking professional
It's total
liars.
pedantry.
It's
At
total
their base,
pedantry. Total
this guy
pedantry.
probably
I
I would like to let
Jesus.
Jack. I would like to let Jack finish his point, please.
Yeah,
and
his
and
little rant
they'll
here,
claim
yeah.
there's no leftist connection. They'll claim there's no there, and then go so far as to lie and say there's some kind of Christian conservative connection when you could see the writing on the bullet casings. And so you know, these are very common symbols associated, whatever. The point is, right, it should be very, very clear. Are we connected with our humanity or are we not?
Now, this is just something that has become really, it's crystallizing, because I know a lot of people think that these things will just pass on and all that. No, they're directly attached to where you work, the opportunities you might get. A lot of these ideologies are being used as a yardstick you must pass before you get employment, before you get investment, before you get any consideration. There's so many areas that the liberal leftists ideology has taken over. So it's for you to decide. You could play the game and follow through and maybe you get something, but I'm telling you this for free. It's not going to work because a lot of it is based on nonsense. A lot of it is just based on plain lies, and that's why it's not going to work.
There is a fundamental difference between the cancel culture that the left engages in and the quote-unquote canceling that the right is doing in the wake of Charlie's assassination and the left's celebration of it. The difference is that the left will cancel you for saying objectively true, good, and normal things. To the extent that the right cancels you, it'll be for saying objectively abhorrent, perverse, and sick things. And this distinction matters. As I've said for years, the problem with the left's attack on speech is not just that they're attacking speech, but that they're attacking true and right speech. They want you to be fired for saying, for example, that men can't have babies and women don't have penises. The problem isn't simply that they're trying to get you fired for saying something. It's that they're trying to get you fired for saying the most basic and true things that it's possible for a person to say.
The main
The
reason
left's
is
war on
that
speech is not a war just on speech, it's a war on truth.
now the main reason for that is to be able to make sure that the corruption they have instituted passes through and is what runs society. And this corruption is basically to make sure that the resources, opportunities are restricted to a very small group of people. And they've decided to use ideologies of this nature to split people up so you don't have the ability to work together. It's already gone. Most of the people right now have no original thought in their heads, but they are so arrogant to think it's actually their thoughts. They have been brainwashed. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. If somebody is every day saying this person is how do you say Yahtzee? I'm going to use that word, which means the German guy from World War II. It's because of the YouTube algorithm. Forgive me. They say you're a Yahtzee, you're a misogynist, you're this and that, and these people have been cultivated in an environment to think these are serious crimes. For example, misogyny. Of course, being a Yahtzee can be detrimental. But you see, they don't even rightfully accuse people of that. They make it up. They use lies so that they manipulate the narrative that goes on everywhere. Now, that is what has led to this, because now after it has happened, they're trying to come back to the playbook that, oh, listen, you are the horrible people. That's why you are getting shot. So if you say something, you people do realize how low that bar is. And how fake it is, because all these people say things people don't agree with all the time. I say things I don't agree with all the time myself. So what, should I take myself out? Because what? The arguments don't make any sense because they are stupid, but they are not intended to make sense. They're intended to force through an ideology, and that's what it is. You guys have to be so cognizant right now, because the power really is in the numbers and the things that we build and where we spend our resources and our time. Do not spend resources and time on people who hate you for how you think or what you aspire to be. You have, because you are the currency. Make no mistake, these people talk down to you like you're nothing. They are looking for your attention so that they can make money. Myself here, but I'm showing respect to you because I'm not talking down to you. I'm simply giving you information that I think is important. Except, of course, the people celebrating Charlie's death. I don't care two bits if you have this set of mind. You're part of the problem, and you need to change immediately. Because right now, we are getting closer to a zero tolerance environment where the harder you come at us, we come 2 times harder. We will outwork you in every way. We are stronger than you in every way. And while you've been using governments and other manipulations to try and have your way, it is going to be stripped down to the bone, and honesty and true hard work will take over. It is simply that way, or we are doomed.
Truth. They want to punish truth. And that will always be worse. Obviously, significantly worse.
Yes.
There is a difference in kind between the statement, men aren't women, and the statement, Charlie Kirk deserved to die because he was a fascist, Nazi, racist bigot. What's the difference? Well, the first statement is the most obviously true thing that anyone can ever say. The second statement is a demented, deranged, perverse, sick, evil, wicked, horrendous, outrageous lie that not only smears the good name of an innocent man, but also implicitly encourages violence against the millions of people who agree with his politics. That's the difference. And the idea that we can't advocate social consequences against the latter statement without also accepting or approving of such consequences for the former statement is asinine. The idea that society must treat all speech exactly the same, as if it's impossible to distinguish between banal everyday truth and the deranged hallucinatory rantings of bloodthirsty sociopathic hobgoblins, is totally ludicrous. Now, I don't think that such ranting should be made illegal. I don't think that the people celebrating Charlie's death should be banned by the government from saying those things. But I do think it's good that these people lose their jobs. It's good that they are shamed and humiliated and must live with the repercussions for the rest of their lives. It's good if they wake up every day until they die wishing they had not said what they said. That's what I want. I want them to wake up every single day and the first thing they think is, my God, I wish I hadn't said that. It took my entire life off the rails. Everything has changed for the worse.
And you see, this is what is happening. I'm going to link everything down below. People have zero tolerance now for all this nonsense. We have to have zero tolerance because you're not dealing with good faith people. They will come for you for the slightest, the worst, most pathetic, frivolous things. They'll turn this into mountains from molehills to come after you. And even to the extent of taking your life. And this is what we are dealing with. Unfortunately, the political world does bleed everywhere else. So whether you like the politics or not, we have no choice in the matter. I would like to speak about it and at least have people understand clearly what's going on in this world, which is also affecting our relationships and how we behave towards each other, how we collaborate. Now, if you don't know that, then how are we going to live together? We're not going to. And I think too many of us have too much to lose to continue to allow these degenerates to continue to destroy what we are building. Anyway, that is all I have for today. I don't know what you think about this. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and a comment. I would like to hear what you think about this. And until next time, peace.